Shh, be quiet. This is kind of like a little example of what I do. This was the definitely the worst room in the house for sure. This bathroom is like an addition to the house. There's a bedroom next to door here where my drums are. Anyway, you had to walk in this room, and there was like a mirror and a sink here, I guess. And you had to walk across the room and turn the light on. And it was right next to, it was actually another plug. It was right in here somewhere, right next to the tub. But a lot of this is recycled. Like, you know, the mirror and the leftovers, tile. What I want to do is build a big vanity right along here and with some storage and stuff, but for right now it's got the pedestal thing. Anyway, let's see here. Make sure I don't turn this off. So I was talking to Bruce the other night, Bruce Foschek, and we were talking about people you meet and whatever. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out how I should start this little segment. Okay, let's do it this way. One night I was driving home and super late, you know, it's probably 1 in the morning or something, and blew the radiator hose in my El Camino. And luckily I was kind of in town, and I was able to pull behind this some kind of gas station or whatever, and I pulled in there, and I could tell the radiator hose was blown, and pretty much I was walking at that point, you know what I mean? So it was starting to sprinkle outside, and I remember I got out to it was kind of the main road I was off of, and I got out there, and I was trying to hitchhike, you know, because I lived probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles down the road, maybe 5 miles down the road. And anyway, I was there kind of trying to hitchhike, and all of a sudden this car drove by, and they were just like screaming out the window, all these dudes, you know. And I was kind of like retaliating back at that car, you know, and I'd kind of known that I got hit by something, but I didn't really pay attention, you know, and we exchanged words. They drove by, and you know, it was like kind of, I don't know what the deal was, but well, I figured out what the deal was. I realized that they'd hit me with an egg, and back then, you know, I had big old hair, so here I am with this egg like smashed into my hair, all over my jacket. It's starting to rain. I just blew a radiator hose, and you know, it was sad. Needless to say, nobody picked me up, so I had to walk home. But I was just thinking, double your pleasure, double your fun. Also guns. Anyway, I had to go see where I was at. Phone filled up with, didn't have any more memory, and at what I just where it blanked off at was I got hit with an egg, and pretty sure that they must have thought I was weird because I had long hair and shit, and I was an easy mark, so I'm sure they had a blast laughing about that one. Anyway, which brings me to my next story. Weird Terry. Okay, this might take a little while. This will be the condensed version. used to be a foreman of a landscaping company when I got out of high school. Not right when I got out of high school, but a little while after I got out of high school. And anyway, I was running a crew, and it was construction, that we were doing. Landscapes, ponds, all kinds of stuff, concrete work, all kinds of stuff. And anyway, we had a high turnover. I think me and my friend Tim, we were having lunch one day sitting out behind somebody's house, and we had counted, I think it was around 45 guys that we had gone through in a 4-year period in Arizona. So they dropped like flies. Anyway, one day, here comes this new guy, Terry. And sometimes you can kind of size somebody up just by looking at them when you're in construction, because, it's a demanding job. And he just, right away, he looked like totally out of place. Terry was a naturalist, and he wore khaki pants, khaki long sleeve shirt, funky hat. He was kind of an odd looking guy, and he wore like biker boots, and he was pretty skinny, you know what I mean? He was kind of tall but skinny. And that doesn't, mean that the guy can't do that kind of work, because I worked with a lot of them that could. And anyway, Terry comes aboard, and his first day, we're finishing a job, and we're putting decomposed granite all over the ground. And we're loading it in wheelbarrows, and we're moving it to the back of his house. And when we loaded a wheelbarrow up, we loaded that sucker all the way up. Huge, full pull, buddy. That's what we call it, full pull. And Terry, he got into this line of, we do it, we all take a turn pulling one in there, but we're all feeling it. And he tries to grab the wheelbarrow before it's full, you know what I mean? And we started giving him a hard time. Oh no, Terry, full pull, baby. And we filled that sucker up. And Terry took off with that wheelbarrow. And he looked like a truck towing something way too heavy, you know what I mean? His boots were going sideways and mushing, and his legs were like spaghetti. But he pumped that sucker in there, And this went on for months, He was just kind of there. He was like a student. And we would take lunch, and so he was only there for the summertime. And we only had Terry for a couple, 3 months. And so we would all break for lunch, and most people either had something from Circle K, or they brought their lunch, like, the dudes that worked every day did, like me and my buddy. So we had our stuff with us, so we're eating, and Terry busts out like a shampoo bottle, and he starts pouring out like sunflower seeds and stuff, and eating these grains and oats right out of these recycled, he'd have like water in his backpack and these old shampoo bottles he'd be drinking it. We thought it was weird. So, that's coming from somebody. I always prided myself on being weird. And my motto was, if you're not weird, you're weird. So, anyway, first impressions of Terry, he was just one weird dude. But at the end of that 3 months, I really liked him. He was really cool, because I knew, and he knew, that he was giving it all he had every day, just to make that 8 hours, and probably went home and crashed out, and in those days, music was my thing, so I would go home, go to sleep, get up around 5, go play music till 10, repeat. And it was neat to meet somebody stranger than I could even think of. To me, my strangeness was nothing compared to the way I perceived him at first. You know what I mean? And then because of Terry being true to himself, and I guess that anyone that I meet who was like that. He was just way cool. And then we broke paths and never saw again. But I could tell you some other weird stories about him too, but it's kind of strange. We called him Waxie. And you guys on the crew would be in a hole digging with a jackhammer. And, you know, jackhammer's pretty loud. And anyway, he would come up with these recycled deals. And he had a piece of wire and went around and into these like bits of fabric that he had fastened onto this. And in the Sonoran desert with the dust, after a while the wax would, from his ears, would kind of coat these pieces of material and then the dirt, and after a couple hours he didn't realize that it was gross. So we called him Waxie for weeks. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.